Hello, everyone, and welcome to our virtual forum series on climate adaptation in megacities, jointly organized by the Hong Kong Institute of Environmental Impact Assessment, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and IAIA. Hi, my name is Clara Yu, and I'm with the Hong Kong Institute of Environmental Impact Assessment.
Hi, my name is Xu Yuan. I'm from the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and also an executive committee member of Hong Kong IAIA. We're so glad that you could join us for these very important discussions. As you all know, Hong Kong is a special administrative region of China with over 7 million people living in a very small area. We only have 1.1 thousand square kilometers of land. Because of this, protecting our environment and preparing for climate change is crucial. That's why Hong Kong IAIA hosts events like this, to bring together experts to share knowledge and also help our city stay resilient.
Our forum will have 6 weeks. The first 5 weeks will be featured with 10 presentations covering topics on infrastructure, water, extreme weather, and green finance. The last week will be a live discussion. We will have a group of young environmental professionals leading the discussions.
This first week, we'll be learning about how climate change is impacting Hong Kong and what the government is doing to address it. Our first speaker is Mr. C.W. Tay, the Secretary for the Environment and Ecology, Hong Kong SAR government. He'll share about climate action plan in Hong Kong and also the different strategies they have. Then Professor Kenneth Leung from the City University of Hong Kong will tell us how eco-engineering can help protect our shorelines from risks like flooding and storms. I'm looking forward to hearing their presentations. At the end, Clara will summarize the main points and introduce what we will discuss next week. Okay, let's get started.
Members of Hong Kong IAIA and IAIA. Before I start, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Hong Kong IAIA and IAIA organizing the Climate Change Forum. Hong Kong IAIA has been providing a superb platform for stakeholders from different sectors and disciplines to share ideas and accelerate action along the path to a sustainable future and environmental planning for Hong Kong. Today, I'm going to share with you the challenges and opportunities that we'll face in our quest for carbon neutrality. In order to reduce carbon, Hong Kong stopped the building of new coal-fired power plants since 1997. We began to use natural gas for power generation, as well as introduced nuclear power. And because of that, Hong Kong's carbon emissions peaked in 2014. Compared to the peak, our carbon emissions have reduced by about a quarter now. Therefore, we have set an interim target to reduce our carbon emission by half before 2035 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2050. Our per capita carbon emission is about 4.6 tons CO2 equivalent, which is a quarter of that of the United States and 60% of that of the European Union. And to go for the carbon neutrality goal, the Hong Kong's Climate Action Plan 2050 has set out 4 major strategies, namely net zero electricity generation, energy saving and green buildings, green transport, and waste reduction. Achieving carbon neutrality is a challenge to all countries in the world, but it will also open up new opportunities. By expediting the green and low carbon transition of our economy and society as a whole, we can bring our city much closer to a green and sustainable development. Today, I would like to focus on the 5 major challenges for Hong Kong, namely space constraint, green industry development, technology breakthrough, demand for talents, and financial support, and how we may create new opportunities as we tackle these challenges. Space constraint has been a constant challenge in almost all aspects of Hong Kong's development. In our decarbonization action, the lack of land and natural resources has rendered it difficult for Hong Kong to implement large-scale renewable energy projects. On the other hand, Hong Kong is endowed with the distinctive advantage of enjoying strong support of the motherland. We have been exploring the supply of zero-carbon energy by collaborating with neighboring regions through, for example, joint investment and participation in projects near Hong Kong. Next year, we will see an increase in the reception capacity of the Clean Energy Transmission System, CETS, which will provide Hong Kong with greater flexibility to import more zero-carbon electricity from the China Southern Power Grid. We will continue to explore more regional cooperation opportunities to bring the share of zero-carbon energy in the fuel mix for electricity generation to about 60% to 70% before 2035. Green industry provides a more sustainable pathway for economic growth. While the limitation of land has made it difficult for Hong Kong to develop into a major manufacturing base for green energy and technologies, we can still promote the green industry by leveraging our position as a super connector and a super value adder. We can serve as a demonstration platform for green and low carbon technologies to facilitate their application in other parts of the world. Hydrogen is widely recognized as a promising new clean and low carbon energy source with significant development potential. To prepare for the wider application of hydrogen energy in the future, we published the Strategy of Hydrogen Development in Hong Kong in June this year. It sets out 4 major strategies of improving legislation, establishing standards, aligning with the market, and advancing with prudence to create an environment conducive to the development of hydrogen energy in Hong Kong in a prudent and orderly manner. As an international city, we can demonstrate the application of hydrogen technologies developed in Hong Kong and mainland China and facilitate their export. Hong Kong has a target to stop the new registration of conventional fuel-propelled and hybrid private cars by 2035. With the support of first registration tax concession for EVs and expansion of the EV charging network, over 60% of the newly registered private cars are EVs. To support the continuous transition to EVs, we are expediting the retrofit of quick charging station facilities at petrol filling stations. Looking ahead, we will accelerate the adoption of commercial EVs. This year, we will formulate a citywide green transformation roadmap and timetable for public buses and taxis, setting a clear path for the electrification of our public transportation system. By 2027, we aim to introduce 700 electric buses and 3,000 electric taxis to our roads, significantly boosting the presence of clean energy vehicles in our public transport fleet. Disposable plastic tableware significantly contributes to plastic pollution in the marine environment and increased carbon emissions. These items, used briefly and then discarded, often end up in oceans, harming marine life and disrupting ecosystems. Moreover, the production and transportation of disposable plastic tableware requires substantial energy, leading to higher carbon emissions that contribute to climate change. In response to these environmental concerns, the government implemented regulations on disposable plastic tableware and other plastic products in April 2024. These regulations not only reduce plastic waste, but can also encourage adoption of non-plastic and reusable products. To support the transition to eco-friendly alternatives, an online information platform has been established to provide information about non-plastic disposable tableware products, as well as tableware rental and cleaning services. By raising awareness about the detrimental effects of disposable plastic tableware, We can encourage more sustainable practices and alternatives that protect our planet and promote a healthier future. The pace of advancement in decarbonization technologies is one of the key factors in our pursuit of carbon neutrality before 2050. As a number of decarbonization technologies are still at the development stage, technology breakthrough is required to enable the wider and more cost-effective application of such technologies in Hong Kong. To step up the development of green technologies appropriate for the local environment, the government has been providing funding support through the Green Tech Fund and the New Energy Transport Fund. The government has allocated 400 million to the Green Tech Fund to provide more focused funding support for research and development projects that can promote decarbonization and environmental protection in Hong Kong. 30 projects involving a total grant of about 130 million from local universities and companies have been approved. These research projects involve a wide range of subjects, including hydrogen fuel storage and release, production of green hydrogen with renewable energy, aqueous batteries for electric vehicles, and production of noise-absorbing metal materials using recycled plastics, etc. To encourage the testing and wider use of green innovative transport technologies for a variety of commercial transport tools, the New Energy Transport Fund has been set up to subsidize the transport trade and non-profit organizations to try out such technologies. More than 300 applications were approved, involving a total grant of about 250 million. The approved applications involve various types of transport technologies, covering electric commercial vehicles, hybrid commercial vehicles, electric commercial vessels, buses, and ferries. The quest for carbon neutrality and the development of a green economy is driving the emergence of new industries and job opportunities in the fields of new energy, green transport, and green and sustainable finance, etc. To meet the manpower needs of different industries during the green transformation, we will need the active participation and collaboration of industry, academia, practitioners, and the government. Hong Kong is committed to becoming a green and sustainable finance hub to strengthen Hong Kong market players' capacity. The 200 million pilot green and sustainable finance capacity building support scheme has been introduced to subsidize market practitioners as well as prospective practitioners in taking up relevant training and acquiring relevant professional qualifications. The Sustainable Finance Internship Initiative has also been launched to support the career development of university students who have an interest in sustainable finance. Based on our experience in promoting the use of LPG vehicles, electric vehicles, and their supporting facilities, the training of professionals in new energy applications and the industry chain is crucial to the development of new energies, including hydrogen. We are pleased to note that the Vocational Training Council has already signed a memorandum of cooperation with the China Certification and Inspection Group to train up more professionals and practitioners in Hong Kong's hydrogen industry. To achieve the carbon neutrality goal, all sectors of society will need to invest in decarbonization technologies, research and development, capacity building, and infrastructure, etc. Being an international financial center, Hong Kong is also rising as an international green finance center. The total green and sustainable debt, including both bonds and loans, issued in Hong Kong exceeded $50 billion in 2023. Among these, the volume of green and sustainable bonds arranged in Hong Kong topped the Asia market in 2023, accounting for 37% of the total. We have, under the government sustainable bond program, successfully issued since May 2019, government green bonds totaling $25 billion which is equivalent to Hong Kong dollars for 195 billion, including green bonds, dominated in renminbi, US dollars, and euro, retail green bonds, as well as a tokenized green bond. To facilitate green finance flows, the Hong Kong Taxonomy for Sustainable Finance was published in May this year to provide a classification system that allows investors to identify and invest in activities that are making a positive impact on the environment. It aligns with the mainstream taxonomies of the mainland and the European Union, and will be expanded to cover more sectors and activities. We are also an international carbon market, connecting opportunities across the mainland, Asia, and the rest of the world. Core Climate has been launched to offer Hong Kong dollar and renminbi settlement for the trading of international voluntary carbon credits. Looking ahead, we will continue to promote synergy with its mainland counterparts to build a dynamic regional marketplace. We are aware that accurate information is essential to green and sustainable financial services. The government and financial regulators therefore aim for Hong Kong to be among the first jurisdictions to align the local sustainability disclosure requirements with the International Financial Reporting Standards, Sustainable Disclosure Standards, the ISSB standards, showcasing to international investors and markets our commitment to reinforcing our leading position on the international sustainable finance map and addressing the global demand for sustainability disclosure. Achieving carbon neutrality before 2050 requires the active participation and support of all sectors of the community. Businesses have a critical role to play in fostering innovation, investing in sustainable technologies, and adopting environmentally responsible practices. Sustainability practitioners can provide valuable expertise and guidance in developing and implementing sustainable strategies and help mobilize community support for sustainable practices and the green transition. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change affects every corner of the earth. While it is a challenge to combat climate change, the green transition brings new opportunities. Companies and enterprises can enhance their competitiveness and open up new business opportunities by engaging in green operations and investing in green industries. I look forward to embarking on this decarbonization journey with you as we strive for carbon neutrality and a sustainable future. Thank you.
Welcome to join this seminar. I'm going to talk about creation of living shorelines through eco-engineering. So I would like to thank the Hong Kong Institute of Environmental Impact Assessment for inviting me to give this lecture. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors and our team from different organizations, especially my team member helping out with all the field works. So as you may know that sea defense structure like this seawall and also the riprap slopes are very important to protect us from wave impact, erosion, and also flooding. Based on a recent study, it is shown that because of the sea level rising at the same time, more and more people are moving to live along the coastal areas because people enjoy the sea views. Then under this projection, there will be 50 to 76% more shoreline to become hardening. It means more than 50% of the natural shoreline will turn into concrete in the future as a mitigation or adaptations to against the sea level rise. But as we all know, removing natural habitat will reduce the biodiversity. This will causing a cascade effect on the ecosystems. At the same time, we also want to enhance our protection and conservation of marine environment and associated biodiversity. So what can we do? Here, I would like to suggest a mitigation measure using eco-engineering technology. As you can see in this slide, there are two major types of sea defense structure. One is a vertical seawall for boat mooring or parking so that people can go up and down the boat easily and closer to the shoreline. This is mainly applied to navigation channel and also pier area. Then for the other areas, we can use this sloping seawall made of concrete or large boulder stone. And then as you can see on these two pictures, there are not many marine life. The number of species is very limited. It is because the habitat actually very simple. As we understand more about the ecosystem, whenever we see low biodiversity, it always happens in a very homogeneous or very simple ecosystem, like this grassland. If we start to planting different type of tree species, have different type of farming practices, then you will see more animals species occurring in the system. Then if you have wetland system and also more variety of plantation, then you can see even further increase of biodiversity. So what does it mean if we want to increase biodiversity? We have to increase the habitat diversity and capacity. On the contrary, if we turn this very biodiverse system into a very homogeneous habitat, then we will lose all this biodiversity component. So to demonstrate whether this kind of principle, ecological principle working on the shoreline, then we conduct a very simple study to test this hypothesis. So in this experiment, we have the control tower, a small one, 25 cm by 25 cm, nothing on it. And then we have the one more complex with the ridges coming out 2.5 cm, and then more complex one 5 cm. And then alongside, we add about 25 rock oysters on it. They are like the live oyster. This will further increase the capacity. Then side by side, we add the oysters on it. And then we compare with the original seawall and a nearby lateral rocky shore. We clean the surface before we start the experiment. So we deploy these towers in Twin Moon area and also in Lantau area nearby our airport for 1 year. So the result was really good. We found a lot more species on the eco towers with the ridges, like these crab species. So let's take a look of the result here. In this diagram showing this number of species, species ridgelets from one of the site. And then you can see without color, these represent the control tower and the tower with 2.5 cm ridges and the 5 cm ridges. So as you can see, the number of species being found increase along this capacity gradient. If adding the oyster, then you can see even higher increase of biodiversity. Then in terms of number of animals found on the towers after 12 months, then you can see almost 4 times increase at this 5 cm towers. Then we also see more higher a number of animals found in this, the ones with oysters. When we look into more details, those with oyster, actually, we put more baby oyster and barnacles on the tower. This is the cheap and simple way if we want to increase the biodiversity and also the number of animals on the seawall, then we can just add in the oyster on it. So we published the result in a journal, Marine Pollution Bulletin. After that, the European Commission actually adopted our paper as their reference paper called Science for Environment Policy. So actually, they really like the idea to use these simple technologies to enhance habitat capacity, to further enhance the overall biodiversity in this artificial shoreline. So we also observed that in one of the sites, the tower with 5 cm tower can reduce the temperature, average temperature by 2 degrees Celsius over the year. So overall, this technology for the 5 cm tower can increase the biodiversity by 51%, and then increase the abundance of animals by 4 times. These are very positive result. After that, we talked to our government, civil engineering and development department. Then we told them that this concept works, but we can try different types of eco-engineering features. So then we import some products from Israel, including this armoring unit, this tidal pool. Both of them are in a 1 meter cube size. On top, we also import a really big panel, 1 meter by 2 meter. One is more compact, the other one is like an artistic design, also for decoration purpose. So at the same time, we deploy our own oyster basket made of stainless steel. Inside, we put bags of oyster shells and live oyster as well. So we deployed these features in 3 different sites in Hong Kong, including the estuary site in Two Mun, and then in the enclosed bay area in Ma Liu Shui, and also in the oceanic water region in Sai Kung for 2 years. After the installation, we found many egrets and other birds like to use the habitat for easy meal, because they can find some crabs and fish on our structures. So once every 3 months, we went there to survey on the biodiversity using standard methods. Then we collect data throughout that 24 months period. Let's take a look of the one of the sites in Sai Kung. So these represent the tidal pool, armoring unit, and also the boulder, the control boulder. On average, we found more species on this eco-engineering structure than the control boulder. However, the number is still lower than the lateral rocky shore, which went through a millions year of co-evolution and also erosion. Then is expected always higher than this kind of man-made structure. However, I want to highlight the number here. The number representing the species could only be found on this particular structure over the 2 years period. So that means this armoring unit really effective to recruit unique species into the system. Then likewise, we found 8 unique species to the tidal pool, and also 7 species unique to the boulder as well. Similar result we found, on average, the 2 panels perform better than the control panel or the seawall, but less than the lateral rocky shore, of course. And then both panels can recruit a higher number of unique species, 7 to 10. So the results suggest that these kind of eco-engineering units or structure can work well to enhance biodiversity. And most importantly, they can attract unique species into the mimic shoreline. So what we find is that if you put a new structure, you will attract new types of species into the system. In the future, if we want to enhance the biodiversity along an artificial shoreline, we have to deploy different types of structure. For example, each time you put a new structure, you can introduce new species, so then you can maximize the overall biodiversity in the system. And with these results, the government encouraged us to develop our own product because on one hand, we can reduce the carbon footprint by transporting the products from Israel to Hong Kong. And then at the same time, we can encourage innovation and commercialization locally. So we established this company called After Nature through the Hong Kong Tech 300 scheme of the City University of Hong Kong. Then the first product we made is called Eco Tower. Based on the experience we gained from the first experiment, then we create a better Eco Tower, which was made of some waste materials from the bottom ash of the incinerator, which treat those wastewater and water treatment sludge. And then after that, they gain this bottom ash, which is actually quite clean and safe for use. And then at the same time, we use this dredged marine sediment, which was collected during the irrigation channel maintenance. Then we use this as the aggregate. So overall, this tower composed of 40% materials from these waste. The good things about using the ash is that it can lower the pH from 13 to around 10. It is because the seawater pH is around 8 only. If the surface is too alkaline, then it cannot form the biofilm, and also it won't encourage the settlement of marine larvae to use the habitat. Lowering the surface pH is very essential for making this as a useful habitat for marine life. So at the same time, using this waste, we can achieve good compressive strain of over 30 MPa. We can achieve a 39. So it is passing the British standards requirement for sea defense structure. So in this tower, as you can see, when it is in vertical position, it is inclined at the bottom. It can keep a layer of water to cool down the system and then make the animals happier during the low tide and sunny day. At the same time, we provide a very rough surface to allow the retention of organic matter and the growth of biofilm. Then we also provide different size of hosts for different size of animals. So after deployment for 1 year, we found there is a massive increase of biodiversity by almost 80%. This tower can lower the temperature by 2 degrees Celsius on average over the year. So then the system proven working by providing complex habitat at the same time, providing a cooler and a more favorable condition for the growth of biodiversity. Then as you can see here, we found fish and crabs, they really like the ecosystem there. So this innovation helped us to win many trophies, including the Special Prize and the Gold Award from the Geneva competition, and also the Hong Kong Awards for Environmental Excellency. We got this Hong Kong Green Innovation Gold Award last year. So the tower is just a beginning of the story. Then we have gained more knowledge through the try and error. Then we come up with this really excellent design. We follow this kind of origami aeroplane. You unfold it, you will see the facing will go to different direction. When the sun passes by, there will be at least two facing will be cooler than the other, provide the shade for the animals and make it more comfortable to live. And also we find the animal prefer this triangle shape, crevices and hole to use as a refuge. And then in this panel, 1 meter by 2 meter, then we can also make use of the backside as a habitat as well. So we deploy it in trim 1 for 1 year. This is the control panel, nothing on it. This is our origami panel. This is from Israel. After 1 year, we found our panel can harbor more species than the Israel imported panel, much better than the control panel, of course. And also we can attract 12 unique species to our panel, then only 4 for the Israel product. Then when you see in this diagram, very clear that, as I said before, when the sun comes by, there will be surface cooler because facing into different direction. So then the products work really well, making us really confident in our innovation. As you can see in this picture, this one is from Israel. You can only see barnacles, oyster, and some isopod here. Then on the contrary, our tower full of bivalve and many other forms of life. Then you can see even crabs live inside and many different types of bivalves from the green mussel to other oysters. And then at the backside, interestingly, most of them are the predator. They will come out to feed in the evening. Then you can see full of spongy bivalve. The bivalve can help us to filter the water and help the improvement of the water quality. Imagine if the whole shoreline full of this bivalve, they actually can filter a lot of water and remove the organic matter from the water. So more recently, we installed this product. Sorry, it cannot move. I just tried to change the pointer. Okay, so as you can see, those panel with different smaller sizes being installed in Lemma Island. We also have our products like this tidal pool and also armor unit being deployed in New York Harbor. And finally, I want to share exciting development in Hong Kong. We have been assisting the government to develop this almost 4 kilometer long eco shoreline, the first such long eco shoreline in Asia. Then in this new town reclamation site in Tung Chung East. Then in the design, we have 3 different types of eco shoreline, including one on a mangrove eco shoreline. It's closer to the river mouth area. It can receive fresh water to help the growth of the mangrove trees. And then we have the yellow area. We try to mimic a rocky shore. And then this is a more wavy area. And then in the irrigation channel, we have the vertical design. So this vertical seawall just follow what we did on the eco tile, but in a bigger version. Then we also have these holes on the wall as well, not just the ridges. And then you can see from this picture, we already find grouper fish and also crabs inside those holes. And on the surface, there are many species going well too. Look, let's look at this data. Then you can see from the high shore region, compared to the contour seawall, you can see almost 60 or more % increase of the biodiversity on this vertical seawall. And then for the mid-shore, you still can see the increase of biodiversity. So we prove that this eco-engineering working really well, even just after less than 2 years post-construction. Then how about the rocky shore mimic shoreline? Then you can see here, for each unit is about 5 meter times 5 meter. We have 3 level, high, mid, low shore. And then we install them as like a Lego structure and then forming this eco shoreline. Less than 1 year, we already see some indicator species like this sea sludge, nudibranch. They are indicating a very good ecosystem. Then we found many species laying their eggs in the structure. And we also observe horseshoe crabs using the system. So we are very happy with the result. Then for mango plantation, we have 2 different levels of mango plantation on the high level and also lower level. We tried to plant 6 different species, local species, and 2 of them go really well, especially this Candelia. Then less than a year, we already found all the indicator species going well in the system. So in the future, we aim to develop more natural, like this nature-based solution approach. Then we will have a backshore plantation, mango plantation. Both can help to sequestrate, fix the carbons. And then at the same time, we will put our eco-engineer structure. And then in the lower shore, we will make use of oyster shell. They are very effective to enhance biodiversity, as well as a sink for carbon as well. So in the future, we also would like to build the shoreline not too strict. We try to suggest we should have a more irregular shape form of shoreline to create more microhabitat for the future. So I would like to close this seminar with this quote by Sir David Attenborough. He said in his lifetime, he witnessed a terrible decline. In our lifetimes, we could and should witness a wonderful recovery. So if we done well with this eco-engineering, eco-shoreline, it can protect the shoreline from erosion, flooding, and wave action. At the same time, it can enhance ecological function and surfaces. And then if the area big enough, people can enjoy the waterfront. So thank you very much.
Thank you all for a thought-provoking first week of the virtual forum on the climate adaptations in megacities. We had an engaging session where we gained valuable insight from our distinguished speakers. Mr. Che Ching-wan delivered a comprehensive presentation on Hong Kong's climate action plan. He provided important context on the urgent need to strengthen climate resilience in Hong Kong and plans to enhance regional cooperation, development of green industry and technology, and green finance, as well as nurturing talents from emerging industry. Professor Leung then shared his innovative research demonstrating the ecological and economic benefits of living shorelines. Professor Leung presented compelling evidence that living shorelines support greater biodiversity compared to the conventional seawalls. Looking ahead to the next week, Professor Leung Wing Mo and Mr. Armstrong Jen will provide crucial knowledge on typhoons and weather warning systems. So Professor Leung's analysis of long-term storm trend will help us forecast and prepare for changing extreme event risk under climate change. Meanwhile, Mr. Zhang will also share the observatory's role issuing timely advisory, a core component of emergency response. Both presentations will equip us with actionable strategy to strengthen community preparedness against intensified storms. I encourage active participation in our upcoming sessions. Continued collaboration across disciplines and borders will be the key to addressing the complex, interconnected challenges of climate adaptation in megacities worldwide. Thank you again for your dedication to advancing this important work. Thank you.